So here is my fish, ready for Sgraffito. It's got 3 layers of underglaze all over it. I colored the body red, the eyes blue, little black dot in the middle, the fins are black. And then what I started to do was with my pencil draw kind of a plan or a sketch of what I'm going to remove with the Sgraffito technique. So on this side, I started to add like little circles all around the body. I used different sizes to create variety so they're not all the same. And then I started to kind of sketch lines in the fin of what I'm going to remove with a loop tool to show the clay underneath, which is the Sgraffito technique. And then on this side, I started to do that too. I have a little template to make some nice circles. You don't really need it if you don't want. You could freehand it, but if you're a perfectionist and you want perfect circles, this might help. So maybe I'll put like a circle here. I think it's important to kind of sketch with the pencil first. That way you have a good plan. You don't want to just start carving away, because what if you make a mistake? You can't really put it back. Whereas if the pencil, if I didn't like that, I could paint over it with the underglaze. That line's not really too deep yet, so it wouldn't be a big deal like getting rid of it. I think I'm gonna put like a half circle coming out from the fin. And then maybe I'll do like a tiny circle, like right, what size should I use? We'll use this size. I'll put it like right here. All right, then I'll probably draw some lines in the fin here, because I'll take those away. I'll do some lines in the eye. All right, and then once you're ready, you like your design, you're ready to do Sgraffito. I have a couple tools that I like to use, a really small pointed loop tool, or this, it kind of looks like what they scrape your teeth with at the dentist office. It's called a Sgraffito tool, or some people call it a cleanup tool. But it's really good to scratch away. So I'll start in the eyeball, and I'm gonna start with just a simple line using the cleanup tool or the Sgraffito tool. I'm gonna take more away, the underglaze, revealing the clay underneath. So that's what Sgraffito is. Now when I fire this fish, what I removed is going to turn bright white, the color of the fired clay. So Sgraffito works best if you use dark underglaze, so that you can see the contrast between the clay and the underglaze. Right now my clay is gray because it's not fired yet, but after it's fired it's going to turn white. So then maybe what I'll do is take away this circle. So I'll start off kind of slow. Because I just want to get a good outline and be sure of my shape. As you do it, you'll get like some underglaze and clay on your cleanup tool. I just put it away or get rid of it with my fingers and then clean up, you know, when you're all done. But that reminds me, you have to do this when your fish is still leather hard or your clay is leather hard. You can't let it get bone dry. If you let it get bone dry, it'll create too much dust, which is bad for us to breathe in. It'll also make your project dirty, but also if you do it when it's bone dry, you could chip it or damage your project. So you need the clay to be soft enough to carve away. So that's leather hard. I think I'm gonna start by maybe just doing some line work in this circle. And see like what that looks like. Because I can always decide to take away more, but I can't really put it back. So maybe I'll do some lines closer together. So I kind of like that. So maybe I'll keep that like that. Maybe I'll do this circle next. And then maybe I'll kind of take this whole circle away. Try and resist the urge to rub away the fuzzies with your fingers, because you'll create dust. You could smear it. Once it's more dry, you could use like a stiff bristle brush to brush them away. I'll take a little bit away in the fin up here. I could use my loop tool and use this to take more away or make deeper lines. You could really use anything for Sgraffito. You could use a paper clip, a pencil, anything that's going to carve into the clay. It doesn't have to be a fancy tool. You could even use your fingernail. Maybe I'll use the loop tool on this one. If you can't finish your Sgraffito in one class period, probably pretty hard to do, so if you can't finish it, you just wrap it in a plastic bag when you're done, or at the end of class, and then you work on it next class period. Don't let it sit out. If you let it sit out, it's gonna get bone dry. You won't be able to Sgraffito anymore. So I'll probably keep working on this, and then I'll post some final photos for you guys to see. That's it.